Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for a wrap up again because I've read another 4 books. And in this video we're going to be focusing on books 22 to 25. And the 22nd and 23rd book that I read this year are books that I'm going to talk about more or less at the same time because they're part of the same duality. And that is Pivot Point and Split Second by Cassie West. This is a duality that follows Addie, who is living in this world called the Compound. This is a place where people with enhanced psychic abilities lives, and one day she finds out that her parents are getting a divorce, and that her father is leaving the compound to live in the human world. And so Addie's ability is that she can see into the future if she's given a choice, so she can sort of search what's going to happen. And so she gets the choice, she can decide who she's going to be living with, her father or her mother. And so she looks into things and sort of, yeah. And so we sort of see the outcome if she chose her father and the outcome if she chooses to live with her mother and stuff. And there's a romance in both of the worlds that she can pick, and a lot of other things going on, and I really enjoyed this duology. I have a full spoiler-free review of the duology up in the card symbol here and as well as in the down bar below, so you can check out all of my thoughts about this series without any spoilers. The second book sort of, this was so fast-paced, just ended in a way that I really needed to get to know what happened in the second and final book, because this was actually what was happening after she made the specific choice. And so we look into what happens afterwards, and in this one we sort of change perspectives between Addie as well as her friend Layla, who is able to erase powers, and then you find out that she can also, and then you find out that she can that you can sort of work on your ability to sort of enhance your power, and she can actually be able, with a lot of work and studying and whatever on her ability, she can be able to restore memories as well as removing them. So both really good books. I gave the first one 4 stars and I gave the second one 3.75 stars. So I really enjoyed the overall duology and I recommend it to everyone who likes a good romance as well as a fast-paced read. I think they will definitely enjoy this book. The 24th book that I read this year was Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This is the first book in a new YA trilogy, fantasy trilogy, and this follows this girl called Ruby, who is a fireblood. And firebloods are a sort of extinct race. There's not a lot of people left who are firebloods in this world, and they are dominantly being ruled by frostbloods. And one day she witnesses her mother getting killed by a frostblood and she's taken prisoner. And then sometimes later she's been released, well, saved from prison, I guess, to join the rebellion against the Frost King. And she decides to join in, even though that she was very in doubt if she could trust these people because they were all frostbloods as well. But she decides that this solution is better than staying in jail. So yeah, and then one day she is recaptured by the Frost King to sort of take part in this game where she's competing against other different creatures that she has to fight to survive. It's either that or she'll die. Although there were some twists and turns in this book, I felt like this was not adding anything new to the genre. I felt like this was quite unoriginal, and I didn't feel the characters very well. I thought they had some elements of that were really great, and I thought the book was great at times, and I felt that like the narrator who narrated the audio was actually really good as well. But overall, it was an okay read, but it was nothing major at all, so I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I don't think I'll be continuing with the series as I have so many series on my plate, so I have to be a little bit critical when it comes to the series that I actually pick up to continue. The 25th book that I read this year was Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, also a highly anticipated 2017 release for me. And this follows obviously the Norse myths. I am from Denmark, so I've grown up with the Norse myths from childhood. During school we always were taught these in history classes, in Danish, whatever. You will get sort of tales from these myths. But also, I also remember reading a lot of comics about the Norse myths when I was a kid. That's actually something I read as a kid. I didn't read a lot, but I actually read a few comics at times because I thought it was a lot more fun to sort of flip through them, and yeah, well, graphic novels, if you will. And I absolutely adored this particular comic, which is called Valhalla, I believe, and I think it's a Danish author of these this graphic novel series. This book sort of just gave the same vibe as that comic series, so that was really fun to rediscover. But this book didn't give me anything new to the genre. I felt like it was very much the same as I got when I read these comics, and a lot of the tales I knew them because they've been told so many times. But I will give that this was told really well. Neil Gaiman is a really fantastic storyteller, so I really enjoyed that aspect of this. So it's definitely not the last time that I check out something by Neil Gaiman in audio form. These tales were definitely told in a fun and whimsical way that definitely left me want to read on, even though I knew what was going to happen. But yes, Neil Gaiman's storytelling definitely brings this book up with its rating, and I end up giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I will, however, recommend it to anyone who has not explored a lot into the Norse mythology. I think they will get a lot out of this book. I think there are a lot of fun tales, and it definitely give you an impression of how the Norse gods were, all of the myths surrounding them, and all of that. And I felt like that was really, really fun. I don't know exactly what else to say, but definitely pick it up if you like Neil Gaiman, or if you are curious about the Norse mythology. I also think you'll get something out of it if you have read a lot in Norse mythology, but just because Neil Gaiman is a fantastic storyteller and all of that. But yeah, these were the next 4 books that I read this year. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books and what you thought of them as well. And if you agree with my thoughts or not, tell me about that as well, or if you want to pick any of the books up that I've been talking about today. But if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.